What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. We're back here once again, and you already know what time it is. It's time to talk about that grit, that grime, bust that rhyme, about that slime. Engine, number 9, going down the East Coast line. And when you see me front your TV, one thing's for certain, three things are for sure. Number 1, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number 2, we came to give you stats, none of that static. Number 3, perhaps the most important number of them all. Number 3. You want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. You may be asking yourself, how, Don? How, Mr. P, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, I'll tell you. Smash like button, subscribe, share. You know what it is. With your peoples. And once you've done those 3 things, in any order you've done them in, you've indeed kept your Lions news pragmatic. Since we're talking about your peoples, sharing, being caring. Once you bring your peoples to the stream, got to tell them, look over yonder. Look at here. You got to tell them what the stream has. You got to tell them you got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hog, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken. You name beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, beans. You name it. We got all the shoes. We got all the news. We got all the slurs. We got all the slews. We got all the chats. We got all the chews. We got it all. We've got it all. And you know what we're going to talk about today? We're talking about the Detroit Lions free agency grades part 2. The last couple of days, we've been talking about Brad Holmes doing the most in this interview that he had with the Lions Collective. Shout out to them. The sit down heard around the world. At least it was heard around Lions Nation. So now we got to unite against Brad Holmes. No, I'm just playing. What up to everybody in the chat? What up to everybody who is lurking, who is twerking, who is smirking, who is working? But if you're doing that other thing, that freaky thing, keep it to yourself. Like Karen and her bland ass potato salad. And if you're doing that other thing that is legal, I don't want to know about it. I really don't. Don't want to know about it. I don't want to be a witness at your trial. I don't want to be a witness at trial. You know why I don't want to be a witness at your trial?
Got time for that.
That's right. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. We got. Let's see. Okay. StreamYard is going through a bit of a rebrand, so they got like this little helpful tip thing that's not helpful at all because I already know it. Use it every day. All right, so we got news is keeping us busy. TA is back in the headlines, or our reporters trying to stay busy. We'll talk about it. We need a tribe name. What about a tribe called Quest? The Motor City Cats kennel. Well, kennels are for dogs, so I wouldn't know. MCC tribe, tribal cats, cats are us. Cats are us is cool. It's like toys. Cats flew over the lion's den, and guess what they saw? Like a cow jumping over the moon. There's a Brad Holmes joke in there somewhere. I figure there is. At least we have a leg up in the kicking game. Bates officially signed. Yep. Shout out to Jake Bates. Am I in a ketchup commercial? Anticipation is making me. No, I just had I had a phone call that I had to deal with. So, that kind of kept me. What up, though, what up, though, Irv Gotti? Real sports talk. I appreciate you. All right. So Terrion Arnold has found his way back into the news, as we know. I'm not sure there's too much more information, right? But here we go. We have an article here from Detroit Lions on SI, but it is not the doc this time. It is Christian Boer. It says attorney of Terrion Arnold releases statement regarding text messages. Amidst the revelation of new information surrounding an incident in Florida, the attorney of Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold has released a statement. On Thursday, reporters from the Detroit News and Detroit Free Press revealed text messages involving co-defendants in an alleged armed robbery and kidnapping incident in Florida that referenced Arnold by name several times. These texts were between Ariana Del Valle and Jasmine Randazzo, both of whom are among 6 co-defendants currently facing 8 felony counts of kidnapping with a firearm, robbery with a firearm, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and conspiracy to commit robbery. Now, we do know that they had these text messages before. We do know that they mentioned Terrion Arnold multiple times in these text messages. We know all that information. We know all of that information. Okay? Have they produced the text messages? Can we read them? Because we know that they were telling, hey, just keep them at the house. TA's coming, right? TA gonna be there. TA gonna deal with it. TA gonna pay you, right? We know that. That's not news. Okay, but we'll continue reading this. The Lions cornerback's name was also referenced in a 27-page text thread acquired by the Detroit Free. Should that be thread? I think it should be thread, not threat, right? It says threat, but it should be thread. Acquired by the Detroit Press. Because you threaten somebody over 27 pages. It's crazy. What you doing? Like, how many times can you say, I'm gonna F you up? And I have to choose the words that I say here because, YouTube and it be, censoring people. I'm gonna mess you up, homie. You better have my money. I'm trying to go get this bread back. Like, how long can you... 27 pages. So it must be thread. It can't be threat. It's got to be 27-page text thread. Acquired by the Detroit Free Press between 5 total people appearing once in messages that are timestamped to have occurred near the time of the incident. One time in 27 pages. One time in 27 pages. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali have the chance to get mentioned more than one time in the 27-page text thread. Arnold was first associated with the incident by a court order from Hillsborough County Circuit Judge J. Logan Murphy. In the court order, Arnold was alleged to be involved in the plot as retribution for being robbed from his rental home in Florida. He has not been charged with any crime. His attorney, Tim Jensen, released a statement in which he states that he had not seen the text messages. So why are you releasing statements if you haven't seen the text messages? Go see the text messages. Seriously, why release a statement when you have access to the text messages? Ladies and gentlemen, lawyers have access to evidence. He's allowed to look at this evidence so that he knows how to prepare himself. You can't just have one side having evidence and the other side don't have the evidence. And you just like, hey, we got it, but you can't have it. Have you guys ever seen a trial where the prosecution introduces a surprise exhibit and the defense is like, objection, Your Honor. We never had the opportunity to see this. So the prosecution and the defense both have equal rights to see the evidence. So I don't understand why his lawyer released a statement without having seen the text messages. That's pretty crazy. But we'll continue. We'll move on. Says we have not yet been provided with the text messages in question, and it would be inappropriate to comment on isolated excerpts without first reviewing them in their full context. So first review them in their full context and then comment. Until then, what's the point? But we'll move on. Johnson wrote, "We are aware that law enforcement has conducted an extensive investigation as reflected in the 49-page criminal information. Notably, our client has not been charged, and based on the evidence currently known, we do not anticipate that any charges will be brought against him." Now, I know I've been very outspoken about him possibly going to prison. I've been telling you guys that he may not be available because he may be in prison. And I also said that athletes generally don't get caught up in these things because they pay their lawyers to make them go away. So Terrion Arnold, being a first round rookie, he has some money that he can pay his attorney to make this go away. So while we may have this go away and nothing may come of it, I don't know what kind of damage has been done inside of the building. Right? I do not know that. But what I can tell you is if his name was mentioned one time in a 27-page text thread regarding the incident, it don't look that bad. I'm not gonna hold you. It don't look that bad. This dude's not going to jail. This dude's gonna be walking free. They're gonna drop the charges. They're not filing no charges. One time in 27 pages. Oh, you crazy. You crazy. If you think that I'm about to go to jail because my name got mentioned one time in a 27-page text thread about the incident, and you gonna call me a co-conspirator? How did they mention his name? TA said, "Get him a soda when y'all done." TA said, "Get him a Faygo pop." I mean, they were in Florida, so they said soda. They didn't say pop. I got to keep the lingo clear, regionally specific. So nobody from Florida is gonna say, "Hey, they said get him a pop." No, said get him a soda. Hey, TA asked us if we want to get Gator burgers later tonight. Hey, TA asked us if we wanted to come over and watch Florida Man. What if it's 27 pages? You're talking about the incident. You're talking about the burglary before it goes down, or while it's going down, or after it went down. You're talking about all this, and you mentioned this man's name one time. Now, the text messages are more damning because we already know there was a proliferation of, hold them at the apartment until TA gets there. TA is going to pay you this. TA is going to do this, that, and the third thing. That was between, what were the two people's names? Alfonso and Lamont? what were their names? Ariana Del Valle and Jasmine Randazzo. Those were the two people. But a 27-page text thread about the incident mentioning my name one time, I don't have nothing to worry about. Unless it says something like TA has exclusively given me permission to unalive them if anything goes sideways. Allegedly. If it says something like that, that's all you needed. That's the one piece of evidence. But if it ain't nothing near there and nothing that can implicate him in the crime, even if people are saying my name, look, we could do a group chat right now. Somebody in the chat could just say somebody's name. They could just throw something in there and just say somebody's name and has nothing to do with this chat, who has nothing to do with this podcast, who doesn't even have anything to do with Detroit, and implicate that person in a crime. That doesn't make it true. So what I think is going to happen with this situation, the people who need to be paid are going to be paid. They're going to keep quiet. They're going to change their story. They're going to say TA had nothing to do with it. It was all a ruse. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Oh, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Juicy fruit. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Yeah, I don't think anything's coming of this. I really don't. But I also don't want Brad Holmes drafting a corner in the first round or the second, because we haven't seen too much good come from those things. All right, what y'all got? Rehash information is all. That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like. Fake announcement. Disrespectful. Churlish. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Does saying it more than once make it worse? I think, yeah. Because if your name is all through the 27 pages, that makes it worse. That makes it seem like you had something to do with it. If they say your name one time, I just came from TA's house. He said he down to go bowling later. All right, let's go ahead and get this done so we can go meet up and go bowling and get some pizza. That doesn't implicate you in anything. But if it's all through, if it's on every one of the 27 pages, oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means you had knowledge. Only text messages. Did his girlfriend have his phone? I don't think she had his phone. Now, if they really want to get spicy, they'll just take his phone and get the triangulation data, and they'll see where he was at during the time. You know, if he was anywhere in the vicinity, that would be a problem. Right, Trenches 1 and 2. Detroit fan man, what up, though? He says, I know you think I'm crazy, but with no replacements for Reader/Lopez and Aleem needing to play up to his bloated contract, what is mostly cuttable next offseason? BPA. Oh, that is mostly cuttable offseason. BPA at number 17 for me is Peter Woods. No, you're crazy. I will blow a gasket if this man drafts a defensive tackle at number 17. Go sign one. You know where DJ Reader went today? To the Baltimore Ravens for a visit. If you have any inclination in your mind that you can be swayed to take another defensive tackle in round number 1 after just doing so last season, slap yourself and go sign DJ Reader. Now, I'm not saying you, Detroit fan man, I'm not saying you should slap yourself. I'm saying the general manager, Brad Holmes, needs to slap himself and then go sign DJ Reader. And you're only slapping yourself is for self-discipline. You want to make sure that crazy thoughts like that don't slip into your mind anymore. So you slap yourself and then you sober up and then you go call DJ Reader. What up, though, Tactical Sport? All right. So I'll finish the article, but like I said, I really don't think that anything is going to come of this. So we'll continue with the lawyer's statement who hasn't seen the actual text messages. Any suggestion of involvement appears to rest solely on the fact that our client is acquainted with certain individuals connected to this matter. Mere association does not constitute participation in criminal activity. I guess you never heard the phrase Guilty by association. Maybe he's just a hit or miss type of attorney. Hit or miss. I guess I never miss. Hashtag if you know, use it like Wiz Khalifa. See what I did there? I didn't use the right Khalifa, but I used one of them. All right. Importantly, there is no evidence nor any witness testimony indicating that our client had any involvement. Brother man, maybe you should look at those text messages, because Randazzo and Clamazzo, oh, they were texting up a storm about TA. TA said, hold him there. TA said he gonna come through and lay the pimp hand down. The stream won't get pulled if I say pimp, will it? I don't know. I don't know what words I can use. I think pimp is a relatively innocuous word, but I digress. Yeah, you probably should read these text messages first. And here's the thing. When he says this, you know the program. Importantly, there is no evidence nor any witness testimony indicating that our client had any involvement. They paying. Oh, y'all gonna eat this, but when you get out and when you inside, we're gonna be putting something on your books every day. You ain't never gonna be hungry. You ain't never gonna want for nothing. And when you get out, I'm gonna put $1 million in your hand. Yeah. You probably can buy them off for like 100,000. People don't be shooting for the moon like that. I'd be like, I want $1 million. That's what I want. And you know that's what they're paying. But yeah, like I said, Terrion don't be saying much, and Terrion's lawyer don't be, saying too much profound. But this sentence here, importantly, there is no evidence nor any witness testimony. What y'all need? Randazzo and Timon, Pumbaa and Timon, what y'all want? That's what happened. There's no witness testimony. So there's what, 4 or 5 people involved in this? And you're telling me there's no witness testimony makes me believe that you are very sure that there will not be any witness testimony. And the only way to make sure that there is no witness testimony is one way is very messy and it's very suspicious. Oh, Randazzo and Timon wound up, they drove off of a cliff? That's crazy. So that's the one way. The other way, and that may have been the way that it was handled before the lawyer got involved. So thank goodness for this lawyer, Mr. Tom Stevens, or whatever the hell his name is. The other way is to take a briefcase over to their mama and them house, open the briefcase, and let your mama tell you how much is inside. Ooh, Timon, it's $350,000 in here. You better not say it. Keep your mouth shut. Let me get this money. I mean, us. Let us get this money. So yeah, I do believe that that's been taken care of. That's maybe it hasn't been taken care of. Maybe it's been discussed. But everybody knows where they stand. Everybody knows the dollar value that they stand to gain by keeping their mouth shut. In addition to this statement, Jensen told the Detroit Free Press that he has not heard from the prosecutor and does not anticipate Arnold being charged. According to a police report filed on February 3rd, which was one day before the incident in question occurred, Arnold was robbed of items such as bags, jewelry, a cell phone, and $100,000 in cash. Well, he's about to be robbed of a whole lot more cash because you got to pay that hush money. Hush, puppies. Reports state that two of the defendants in the case have confessed to their roles in the matter. The incident occurred on February 4th as two victims were allegedly lured to a location where they were beaten. Two of the defendants, two of them, have said, yes, we were involved. We participated. It was us. And they ain't stitch on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because the prosecution is like, we don't even want y'all. Terrion Arnold is the big fish. What can you give him on him? And they like, what kind of deal can you give me? We'll get you 6 months probation. That's cool and all, but how much money you gonna give me? You know what I'm saying? Because you already know. I'm dealing with Mr. Deep Pockets over here, and y'all looking kind of shallow right now. You know, y'all looking kind of shaky, baby. I get it, but Reeder and Lopez played 1,000 snaps last year, and they're gone. Wingo, Levi, Chris Smith, and Adams ain't gonna fill that gap. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about a defensive tackle in round number 1. I don't. I really don't. By text messages, you should be good with Pimp. Okay. Same old Pimp. Mace, ain't nothing changed but my limp. TA is still in wait mode, part 2 of free wait. Why do we call them free? $2 million a year ain't free. Well, they were free agents, right? Until they signed. Wait, there's evidence against TA? Just some text messages. We don't really know how much evidence it is. Mark Garcia says he's the dumbest man in the room. Don't talk about yourself like that, Mark. Allegedly, of course, allegedly. Tim Martin, man. Where you been at, Tafna? Where you been at, girl? She said somebody will roll over on TA. Not if they paying that money. Yes, not if they paying that money. Hello. This says, I can't wait to read those text messages. Yeah, we'll see if they unseal them. But in today's day and age, in this day and age, they probably get unsealed. Working. Oh, you been one of those people working? Okay. Working in the chat while you're lurking. Okay, cool. All right, we have signed. What's that dude's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh yeah, they'll leak them. It'll probably be TMZ. TMZ Sports will probably leak them. And be all over the internet. That's true. That is true. All right, we have signed a person. I can't remember his name right now. Former San Francisco 49er. He's a guard. He's probably better than Christian Mahogany. I'm just gonna say that and put that out there. I will put that out there. Oh my God. Okay, so here we go. Man. Appreciate TM Martin comes in with the $10 super chat. It's a super sticker. If you got something to say, let me know. I'll put it up there. Remember when I told y'all the dude that was talking all this? Oh, he gives Brad. What's his name? Sorry, Brad Holmes gets less hate or more hate than Bob Quinn. And I said the fact that Larry Borum is your starter replacing Taylor Decker tells you they're not trying to win a Super Bowl. This guy replies to me. I'm going to read it word for word. What up, though, Derek? I'm going to read it word for word. He says, the fact that you didn't know how much better of a season Larry had at right tackle than Decker. Decker was ass cheeks last season. Move Sewell to left tackle and Borum at right tackle till the rookie is ready. Okay. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. If we're going to live in the land of delusion. Ben Barch. Thank you, Derek. Thank you. I don't know who. I've been out the loop a few days. Ben Barch. That's who it is. Let's see. Is the guy injured? Derek, what's his injury history? Let's see. Because I really didn't plan on talking about him. I plan to actually go through the rest of the people that we had up there. All right, let's look at the rest of the people that we had up here. Okay, so we talked about the departures and the cap casualties. Now we'll talk about the signings and the acquisitions. So you know how we did it. We did the departures, the cap casualties, and my assistant gave them a grade. And I'm going to ask you guys if you agree with the grade. And I'm going to tell you if I agree with the grade or if I don't. All right? And y'all can give your counter grades and all that stuff. And this is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Yeah, I don't remember the words. But you know, I remember that part. All right. Signings, acquisitions. Cade Mays, 3 years, $25 million, $14 million guaranteed. This was graded as an A+. This is the crown jewel of the Lions free agency at just $8.33 million a year, AAV, right? This is a massive bargain compared to the $20+ million deals guys like Tyler Linderbaum are commanding. Mays was brilliant as a run blocker for Carolina last year. Well, I'm glad he's brilliant as a run blocker because we're going to need some holes for Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, the pass blocking, we want to make sure that he keeps Jared Goff upright. Shout out to Jared Goff. Jared Goff gets a lot of hate for his arm. But the Detroit Lions, in honor of J-Mo's birthday, okay, released a short. It was probably an Instagram reel as well. I don't follow them on Instagram. I don't really do too much on Instagram. I'm getting my shorts out there now because StreamYard has just made it a whole lot easier for me. And, picking up some subscribers and, all that stuff. So that's good, right? But and shout out, I think we're about 40 subscribers away from full monetization. So if you got friends, 60. So if you got friends, you got family, share the stream. Share it with them. Let them know. You know how we do. You know how we do. This is how we do it. Okay, anyway. So Jared Goff gets a lot of hate, not having an arm and everything. He was getting that thing down there, bro. These top 10 plays, J-Mo, it was only really one play that was like 10, 15 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and then J-Mo just took it the rest of the way. Jared Goff been uncorking some bombs to J-Mo low-key now. He been uncorking some bombs to J-Mo low key now. So, you know, like I said, I know he gets a lot of hate. You know, he got a noodle arm and all that. It ain't all that noodly. You know what I mean? It ain't all that noodly. So shout out to him. See what we got going on there. Nope. All right. So now he's a perfect scheme fit for the run heavy identity of the Detroit Lions. But again, as I said, we just want to make sure, we don't just want to make sure, like, we look. The offensive line has questions. You know, Larry Borom is a question. We know Juice Scruggs is a question. We know Miles Frazier is a question. Because we don't know what Miles Frazier is going to do. We don't know if Larry Borom is going to indeed play right tackle and Penei Sewell is going to move to the left. We don't know these things. We don't know if they're drafting a tackle. Now that they've added Mr. Barch, I feel marginally better about the guard position. And the reason I feel marginally better about the guard position is because I know that they're not just going to let Christian Mahogany run out there and run it back. I don't think you trade for a guard and you sign a guard. I don't think you do that just for poops and giggles. Like we said, there's a lot of people who thought Larry Borom was a Dan Skipper replacement. He's going to be your starter, whether it's right or left tackle. It's going to be your starter. You know? So what do you guys give that signing? Kate Mays, we got an A+ right here. What do y'all think? Derek should come on camera too. You just doing syndicates again soon. We should be tomorrow, right? If we got something to talk about, because tomorrow's Friday. Friday. It's Friday for me already. But great signing to Mays. So you agree with the A+? Goff not a mobile QB either, and much hate for lack of that too. He does get a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate. My real point of contention with Jared Goff is he doesn't handle pressure well up the middle. Most quarterbacks don't handle pressure well up the middle, right? When you put pressure directly in their faces, they don't handle it well. So what is necessary is for the Detroit Lions, is for Brad Holmes to get an offensive line in front of him, especially an interior offensive line that can make sure that doesn't happen. If that happens, or if that doesn't happen, I should say, him getting pressure in his face, the sky's the limit for the offense. You know what I mean? Ain't got nothing to do with the defense, but the sky's the limit for the offense. Appreciate you. Goofball. What up, though? 313 Thug Living. There's lots to talk about in the NFL right now. There is, in Lions land, there's not significantly a lot, but you know what? We probably should do around the league. I'm going to tell Derek that right now. There's a suggestion to do around the league. What say you, gents? All right. I did that on camera, so you know I sent the message. All right. Going out for dinner. Much love. All right, Robert Stevens, we will holla at you tomorrow. NFL owners meeting coming up, and they will discuss upcoming rule changes, etc. Yeah. I wonder if Brad will speak at the owners meeting. Since he already spoke, I'm sure they're going to interview him. They do every year. I'm sure they're going to interview Dan. So we'll get more information. We'll get more news to talk about. That's good. Is it me or does it seem that Melvin is content selling tickets? Well, listen. I feel like, so from all of this free agency stuff, I feel like they are really trying to build something with this offensive line. I just don't know if they can do it with these budget players. You got Cade Mays, who's not Frank Ragnow. But is he the center that's going to make the engine go? Is he going to make the two guys next to him better? Right? Because when Frank Ragnow was here playing, it really didn't matter. That's Mike. It really doesn't, it really didn't matter who was on the left and who was on the right. We know that because Christian Mahogany looked like a good offensive guard when he was playing next to Frank Ragnow. So Frank Ragnow made him better. I don't know if Cade Mays has that ability, but we'll see. But other than Cade Mays, we got a guy in Juice Scruggs who was jettisoned by the Houston Texans, who I will continue to say, while their offensive line sucks, they also don't seem to want to have a good offensive line. So Juice Scruggs could be better than his circumstances. Circumstances tell you he's garbage because he couldn't stay even with the Houston Texans. But the Houston Texans, I believe, are actively trying to get CJ Stroud unalived. You've got the guy in Christian Mahogany, who I think y'all saw last year that they needed to get better there. And then now you've got Mr. Barch. Okay, cool. I feel like they've thrown a lot of resources at the guard position, which is what I was screaming about at the beginning of free agency. I'm just not comfortable with Larry Borom as your starting tackle. So we'll see what happens there, I guess. But I say all that to say this. Offense sells tickets. Defense wins championships. Right? So as we're going to talk about the moves that were made on defense to bring in players, it's been free agent signings. There haven't been any trades. Right now, currently, if I'm being honest, when I go to the draft, make sure you go to the mockmachine.com. Play the GM mode. Or maybe you just want to do a mock draft. Trade your current picks, your future picks. Trade players away. Do what you want. It's your team. Have a great draft. And once you're done, make sure you share the results with all of us here at Motor City Cats. TheMockMachine.com. Sponsors of this stream. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling not legal in whatever state that it's not. But in free agency, I'm going to say that the defense is not actively better, and defense wins championships. So does that answer your question? All right. Thank you. 100 Around the League show would be great. All right. We will get on that and try to do that. We'll have to mix it in. All right. Restaurants still open. I guess that was for Robert Stevens. NFL owners meeting will also consider league expansion teams. Two new teams proposed. Oh, which teams are those? That I can't imagine where they would put them. But that would be interesting. Like I don't want to see an NFL team in OKC. I really don't. I don't want to see an NFL team in OKC. NFL international games expanding to, and there might be a new international NFL expansion team. We got to get one first. They've been talking about this NFL expansion team international for years, more than 20. So we got to get one first. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, TM. Doing that work. Doing that work. Canada was discussed as an expansion team. Toronto. That would be weird, right? Because we got the CFL. But you know, the NFL is not afraid to step on toes. So I think Canadians would be upset. I think Canadians would be upset. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they'll be upset. All right. Let's continue with this breakdown. Who's next? So we talked about Cade Mays. Here's one that I don't care about. All right. Running back Isaiah Pacheco, 1 year, $1.81 million. The grade was a B+. The Montgomery replacement, Pacheco brings that exact same rugged bruising style that Campbell loves, serving as the perfect thunder to Gibbs' lightning. I don't know if it's perfect, but the red flag, you must highlight his injury history. At this price point, it's a fantastic low-risk flyer, but his aggressive running style has taken a physical toll. That guy would run through a wall. I mean, he is going to be your short yardage back. I think that'll be his role. I mean, the grade is a B+. I'm not sure if it matters. You know what I mean? Like, did you have to sign a guy to do that? I mean, if he's just going to be the short yardage back, if he's going to maybe spell Jahmyr Gibbs every now and again, you really probably could have just drafted one with one of your 4th or 5th round picks. Maybe. So, I don't like the signing. I don't dislike the signing. It never really moved me. The man gave himself a nickname. He said, "Call me Taz." And of course, people are going to be running with the Sonic and Taz thing. I don't know. I just said Sonic and Taz doesn't make any sense. He's the electrician. He's back solo. The electrician nickname is back up. Okay, he's back solo. He was in a duo. He was singing duets with David Montgomery at Sonic and Knuckles. He's back on his own. He's releasing a solo album September 10th, 2026. Now it's not going to be September 10th. What is it going to be? September 12th, 13th, something like that. September 13th, I think. Maybe 12th. 13th. I think it's 13th. Anyway, that's when Jahmyr Gibbs' solo album drops, and it's going to be entitled The Electrician. So get ready for it, because that's what I'm going to be calling him all year. So since Melvin likes to fill holes in free agency and draft BPA, it would be logical to be able to grade the team on FA, even though we are looking at an incomplete team. The FA grades, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're giving FA grades. Does giving yourself a nickname count? No. This is why I can't stand LeBum. Right? He called himself King James. There's many other reasons I can't stand him, but like you don't give yourself a nickname. Like your nicknames have to be earned. Right? One of my nicknames was the Gingerbread Man. And the reason was because run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man. I didn't give myself that nickname. I think that's a cool nickname. What y'all think? The Gingerbread Man, I think, is up there as one of the Pantheon great nicknames for a guy who's a running back. Now, it's not OJ the Jew Man. It's not that. But the Gingerbread Man, I think is pretty good. What y'all think? Let me know in the chat. I would put a poll in, but I'm on StreamYard. What StreamYard gets polls? Oh, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. I'm going to be putting them in there all the time. Going off of that alone, the offense is probably a push and the defense is worse than the end of last season. Am I wrong? I don't think you're wrong. Oh, and the whole Jeremy Reisman talking about Kirby Joseph not being on the team in 2026. I know that was a thing yesterday. This was his own speculation. I watched the podcast when he was talking about it, and he was just speculating about that, talking about Brian Branch getting a contract and all this other stuff. So there are no sources, there are no reports that say that Kirby Joseph's last year with the team is this year, and he will be moved on from in 2027. So, you kidding? Sonic can sing, but Jahmyr Gibbs cannot. What up, though, Zach J? Do you know the Muffin Man? Oh, the one that lives on Drury Lane? Yeah, I know. The Muffin Man. The Gingerbread Man. Y'all taking the nursery rhyme. You know what I mean? It's the Gingerbread Man. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the Muffin Man. But I know him. He lives on Drury Lane. The Muffin Man, yes. I got it. All right. Let's go back to, here we go. This is not a free agency signing, but it happened during free agency, so we're putting it in there. It's roster building. Interior offensive lineman Juice Scruggs, acquired via trade. The grade given here was a B. Acquired in the Montgomery trade, he has had his struggles, but he adds vital interior depth and will immediately push Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany for playing time. I don't think he will push Tate Ratledge for playing time, but I do think he will push Christian Mahogany for playing time. So, I mean, that gets a B. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree with it being a B? I'm gonna try to be, because the grade for me is skewed. It's skewed in the two things that I know about the Texans. The fact that they hate offensive linemen and the fact that they're trying to actively get CJ Stroud unalived. I know those two things about the Texans, so I can't really make an accurate assessment because those are the things that are in my mind. But at the same time, they let you go. And that goes into the number one thing, which is they hate offensive linemen. If you are decent at all, they will remove you. So maybe it is a good trade. Maybe he's a good player. Because if the Texans catch you being decent on the offensive line, they will get rid of you. They will get rid of you in a heartbeat. You're not allowed to be decent, good, average, or above average, or even great, as Laremy Tunsil, on the Texans offensive line. It's not a thing. You're not allowed to do it. So I don't Can I give it a C plus? Can I give it a C plus? I just don't. I'm not sure. Gingerbread Man, too long. Damn. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Ginger Man. Nah. You can just call me GBM. You know what I mean? I mean, you got AQM, you call me GBM. You know. Ginger Man's like, okay, I like because it's like it's close to the Jew Man, right? OJ the Jew Man. But the Ginger Man is cool until someone calls you Ginger. And I don't have red hair, and that, you know, obviously I'm not a ginger, so I can't give the Juice Man a B, maybe a C plus. See, then you just call him the Juice Man. You know, y'all just pooping on my dreams, man. Give it a C plus, okay. Just like me, I wanted to give it a C plus. We see with him, you truly have to wait and see if they caught him being decent on the offensive line or if they just got rid of him as a throwaway in the trade. All right. This tight end Tyler Conklin, 1 year, $1.3 million, grade B. The breakdown with new offensive coordinator Gru Pretzel taking over, you are going to see a lot more tight end packages. Conklin had a down year, but as a tight end 3, he brings veteran stability and excellent blocking to Petson's system. Here's the thing that I like. So here's the thing about Petson. Apparently, according to Brad and Dan, which if you want to believe them, it's fine. I choose not to. But I don't think there's any reason to indulge in capology in this situation. According to them, Gru Pretzel was brought in and hired because he's a systemless coordinator, right? He's playing positionless basketball. But everybody and their mother wants to keep telling you that the proliferation of 13 personnel is something so major that Gru Pretzel can't even function without it. Mind you, Gru Pretzel tried it out, 13 personnel, looks 28% of the time. 28% of offensive snaps, he was in 13 personnel. I know that's maybe more than the league, but that's not a whole lot. You still got 72% of your offense that's not running in 13 personnel. He was in 13 personnel 28% of the time. So 72% of the time he was not. The way that people talk about Gru Pretzel and these tight ends is 13 personnel, is like you flipped it. And he was in 13 personnel 72% of the time. And 28% of the time he was not. It's not the case. 28% is not a large percentage unless you're driving Uber. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. So I really don't think that it is much of a thing. I think Tyler Conklin was brought in because, yeah, we do need depth at the tight end position. You got Sam Laporta, who you don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. And you also have Bryce Rock is what I said, but it's Brock Wright. Okay. You also have Brock Wright, who you don't know what his status is and what his status is going to be because he's dealing with a neck injury. So he might get to training camp and retire. Who knows? Who knows? So as B, maybe B plus, Tyler Conklin. TDI, let's do it. Gru will try to steal the tight end moon for sure. Facts. Look, I like 13 personnel, but I don't want to be running 13 personnel all the time. What wide receiver are you taking off the field? Tesla. Just call Brock Wright broccoli. I mean, I see why that fits, but I don't want to do that. I also don't want to call him chopped liver. All right. Offensive tackle, Larry Borom, 1 year, $5 million, grade C+. A solid swing tackle, but this does not solve the Taylor Decker problem. Borom is depth, not a franchise blindside protector. That's what my assistant said. But that's not what Brad Holmes told you. Brad Holmes told you, oh yeah, he started a lot of games too, detective. He's over here, detective. You thought he was going to be on the right, detective. He's on the left. He's over here, detective. I mean, if Larry Borom puts you to sleep while watching him play, doesn't that mean his name should be Larry Boring? Hashtag if you know, you know, use the hashtag. Hashtag if you know, you know, use the hashtag. I hope most of you know that, what I just did there. I hope most of you know. Somebody's got to know. I feel like I want to give this a D. I'm going to give it a C minus. Again, we don't know what he's going to look like out there for the Detroit Lions. So me giving it a C minus is, it's teetering on the brink. I'll just say that much. C minus could easily devolve into D, D minus, and F. So, all right. Okay. Let's see what y'all got. But in 13 personnel, there's only room for one wide receiver. So Tesla and JMO, you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth. Talking about taking JMO off the field. You take somebody else off the field. This is JMO's birthday. How you gonna take him off the field on his birthday? How you gonna do that, Tactical? All right, let's go to defense. First, we're going to, before we go to defense, let's talk about Ben Bartch. Okay. Ben Bartch, 1 year, don't have any contract details yet. Grade B minus. Bartch is a fascinating story. He's a former Division III tight end who bulked up 75 pounds with a legendary daily college smoothie, 7 eggs, cottage cheese, grits, peanut butter, and bananas. That sounds awful. Especially if it's a smoothie. How did you get grits in there? Because ain't nothing smooth about grits. How do you get that through the straw? Are you just using a spoon? Or because that doesn't sound like grits. Did you cook the grits first, or did you just put them in there as, you know, you blended them up with everything else? I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. The grits part is crazy. To become an NFL offensive tackle and eventually a starting guard. He comes over after splitting his career between Jacksonville and San Francisco. With 55 games and 24 starts under his belt, he provides legitimate battle-tested interior depth. He's played every position on the line except center. With the Lions prioritizing a massive physical offensive line, his 6'6", 315-pound frame fits the Holmes mold perfectly. He's an excellent insurance policy behind guys like Christian Mahogany and Tate Ratledge. There's too much mention of Christian Mahogany, like he's got a job. Like he doesn't have a job right now. He's, it's a backup. All right. So what do y'all think about that? I mean, I'll give it a B. I don't know too much to be able to give it a B minus. I'll give it a B. A big straw, yes. It has to be huge to get grits through there. Ben sounds like he slots into the Dan Skipper role. 6'6", 315. Yeah. I mean, he needs to really be 6'8", but it's all good. It's all good. I'm gonna give it a B. I think it's a solid. And anything that pushes Christian Mahogany further down the depth chart, I'm for it. So I'll give it a B. All right, let's talk about the defense. Roger McCreary, cornerback, 1 year, $1.4 million, grade A minus. This might be the most underrated signing of the entire offseason. McCreary comes in after a solid stint with the Titans and Rams. He has 61 games and 38 starts of experience and has played nearly 2/3 of his career snaps inside. This is the problem, folks. This is the problem. He slides right in to compete for the nickel cornerback role in Kelvin Shepard's defense, essentially replacing Ennis Rakestraw Jr. He's not replacing Ennis Rakestraw. No one can replace Ennis Rakestraw on the IR. No one. No one does IR like Ennis Rakestraw. Getting a proven 26-year-old starter for under $1.5 million is classic Brad Holmes value. It's cheap. It's dollar store general. Now, what was that percentage? Shit. 2/3. 2/3 of his career snaps inside. So 33% on the outside. So y'all know my problem with this. I feel like he's going to be on the outside by week 3. I feel like we're going to have enough injuries in the first 3 weeks to put him on the outside. And the reason he played 2/3 of his snaps in his career on the inside is because on the outside, he's not great. I don't know. So that's my thing. I feel like he's been brought in to play in the slot, but he's going to be forced outside, just like Amik Robertson was. What up to A Green 713? That rhymes. All right, next one. Edge. DJ Wonnum, 1 year, $3 million. Grade is a B. With Al-Quadin Muhammad heading to Tampa Bay, the Lions desperately needed a running mate for Aiden Hutchinson. Wonnum brings a solid floor. He had 8 sack seasons in 2021 and 2023 with Minnesota before his recent stint in Carolina. I'm just DJ Wanham got a B here. All right. At 6'5", 258. Yeah, ready? All right. At 6'5", 258 pounds, he's a sturdy run defender. But the question remains, is he a true difference maker as a pass rusher? At $3 million, it's a great value signing, but it doesn't solve the long-term edge issue. That's why I said edge. Okay. Did I miss a TDI grade? Nope, not yet. We're coming around the corner with that one. Don't want them. Steve from TM. All right. I don't want to miss the TDI grade. I feel you. I see what y'all are doing there in the chat. I gave it a C also. I'm tired of stopping the run, bro. You know what I mean, right? It's just always about stopping the run. It's never really about getting to the passer. If it ain't Hutch, it don't matter. I'm hoping that we put TA, if he doesn't end up suspended, in at the nickel, or as Alabama called it, the star position, and we draft an outside cornerback. But what do I know? I don't know ball. I don't hope that we draft an outside corner, because I don't trust Brad. TA gonna get cut. I don't know if he gets cut. That's a bit much. All right. Damone Clark, 1 year, $1.4 million. Grade B. I don't know if this is a B, but a former Cowboy standout who started all 17 games in 2023 and racked up 109 tackles. With Alex Anzalone leaving for the Buccaneers, the linebacker room needed experience, depth behind Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, and Malcolm Rodriguez. Clark brings excellent tackling and starting experience for pennies. He's a fantastic depth piece who can step in immediately if injuries strike the second level. I think we're going to see what Damone Clark can do. I don't know. I don't know if he he's gonna play. He's gonna play. So we'll see what happens with Damone Clark, because right now they may have envisioned him as a special teams contributor, but at some point in the season, he'll be in that linebacking core as one of the only healthy options. So, yeah. All right. The moment y'all have been waiting for. The moment y'all have been waiting for. Okay. And after this, y'all can get your mailbag questions in. So we can scoot on up out of here. The moment that you have been waiting for. The moment that made you say this.
Sugar cookie, man. This is crazy.
Okay, the moment that had you talking about sugar cookies being crazy. Are y'all ready? Watch Lions get rid of TA. Mark my words. 3/26/2026. All right, I'll mark it. 3/26/2026. You hear that? They talking like Rodrigo is starting. Get ready to get burnt by running backs out of the backfield. Oh, that happens with Rodrigo. That happens with Derek Barnes. And my favorite, Ezekiel Turner. Pure Cambodian. Man. Detroit fan man is a fan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. He knows his stuff. All right. Ezekiel Turner, which brings me to his cousin of the same last name. Now, I don't know if they're actually cousins, but neither one of them is effective. Peyton Turner, edge. Peyton Turner, 1 year, $1.145 million. Grade C+. I don't agree with you, my assistant. I give this an F plus. F plus. Y'all about to F around and find out. F. All right. Now we can read about the pick. A former 2021 first round pick by the Saints, Turner, 6'6", 270 pounds. I forgot to say that when I was doing the breakdown. He is 6'6", 270. He is Marcus Davenport. Do y'all realize this? He is Marcus Davenport, like almost to a T. He's the same height and weight, just about. He can't stay on the field because he's always injured. Okay, so that's Marcus Davenport right there. That's his uncle. I told y'all. All right. Has the exact physical profile Holmes covets, but his career has been completely derailed by injuries. Only 31 games played in his first 5 seasons. 31 games played in his first 5 seasons. To give you guys context, what is 5 times 6? 21. No, what is 5 times 6? One more than your answer is the amount of games he's played in 5 years. He plays an average of 6 games per year. That's his average. This is a pure lottery ticket with 0 guaranteed money. If he stays healthy, we heard that before. Heard it all before, but your lies ain't working now. Heard it all before. All right, anyway, hashtag if you know, use the hashtag. If he stays healthy is what we said with Marcus Davenport all the time. For the entire year, 2 years he was here, we heard if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, he could be a rotational steal. If not, there's no dead cap penalty to cut ties. How quickly will they cut ties? That's the question. How quickly will they cut ties on Peyton Turner? Okay. All right. AKA TDI. I give this a Z minus. He makes me miss DDI. Damn. He said a Z minus. I never seen no stuff like that before. He makes DDI look healthy. He kind of does. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna cap to you now. It seems like every season we sign someone to hold down the IR. It's like it's a position. Assistant IR manager. Assistant IR manager. All right. I'm going to get to the last one, and then we'll get to some mailbags. I see there's a mailbag right now. Defensive back, Christian Izien, 1 year, $2 million, grade C+. More secondary depth. Izzy provides versatility and special teams value to round out the back end of the roster on a cheap, low risk deal. Yeah, you know when you get something like that, it's not too many people believe in you, rounding out the back of the roster. Don't know. Christian Izzy once intercepted Jared Goff, and that's why people love him in Detroit already. Mailbag, Don P. Do you think Brad Holmes will draft not one but two offensive tackles since he is the smartest man in the room? At this point in time, I would be upset if he drafts two of any position. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like if he drafts two of any position right now, just don't think that's the move to make. I don't know if he gets an offensive tackle at all. We assume that he's going to take one. Just like people assume that he's going to take an edge. I don't have those assumptions. I really don't. You need an edge. Does he take one? I don't know. 6th round. I don't know. Is that good enough for you? I don't know. 6th round. I don't know. What up, though? My guy, Cy Yan Judah. What up, though? It's the AIM assistant injury manager. I like that. It's no longer AOL instant messenger. It's AIM assistant injury manager. You good with them three letter acronyms now. Come on now. We got holes. We can't afford two of any position. He hasn't taken an edge. He has told us many times he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the edge. We got holes. I didn't really intend to sing the whole comment. I just wanted to sing the first part of it, but I couldn't stop myself after I started. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stop myself after I started. Let's see. Hold on. What did we say about around the league? Hold on. Let me see what they're saying. 1 second. All right, it's about 2.5 minutes of chat. I don't have time to listen to that. So, yeah, any more mailbags? Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they read and you snick, mailbag? Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. All right. So here's the thing. Y'all remember, because I couldn't watch the last Bad Boys. I tried it. I could not get through the first 10 minutes of that movie. So I'm scrolling through YouTube, the shorts. Y'all remember the scene with Reggie? Now I can't use all the language that they use in the scene, but remember when Reggie comes to the door to take out Megan, who's Martin's daughter in the movie? Y'all remember that dude? When Mike was acting like the drunk uncle and they told him, he said he was 15, told him he looked 30. Y'all remember that part? Well, if you haven't seen Bad Boys 3, like I hadn't, Reggie wound up marrying Megan. They had a child, and Reggie is a military dude. They ambushed Reggie in the house. My man went full Rambo. Unalive 15 dudes that ran up into his house using his guns, their guns, knives, everything. Reggie is straight gangster. And at the end of the situation, he finally got their respect. So shout out my boy Reggie. Shout out. You may have looked 30 when you was 15, but you definitely looked 30 when you was 30. I'll tell you that much. Same actor. Same actor. So that's crazy. You singing could be a YT short. I do have a short up right now with my Bill Cosby 50 cents a wop for the pudding pop. 50 cents a wop for the pudding pop. You know Brad's paying 50 cents a wop for the pudding pop. That's up right now. Y'all can go check it out. One of those Bad Boys for Life sequels offended me the way it depicted Latinos. I can see that. I can see that. The last Bad Boys wasn't that bad for what it was. I couldn't do it. After I seen the scene though, I was like, maybe I need to go back and finish it up. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to go back to Amazon Prime and check it out. Shout out Reggie. So shout out. I loved the Zoe Pounders. I loved The Devil Is Not Welcome Here. This is my dude. The devil is not welcome. Who in my house? I'm the devil. Mike, you got to call yourself the devil in that man's house? The devil is not welcome here. Oh my God. Some of the acting. It's so corny, but it was good. I liked it. It's good. All right. So go ahead and get y'all mailbag questions in. If you haven't got any, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to ski-oop. Hashtag if you know, use the hashtag. I'm going to skedaddle, but I ain't going to ski-oop. We don't ski-oop around him. You know what I mean? My sister might, because she was down with that. But, you know. Got a little bit of fluff on my brim. What up, though? Zerminator. 2710. He says, I still think the Seahawks defense is proof we don't need two elite edge rushers, just a competent D-line and above average secondary. That's our issue. We don't. So no one's, at least not me. No one is asking for two elite edge rushers. And that's the problem with Brad Holmes. He's telling you that the fan base, he's gaslighting you, telling you that the fan base is so mad that we've got Aiden and that's it. And they're like, well, why don't you just go draft another one? Who has two elite edge rushers? Yada, yada, yada. No one told you, Brad, that you have to draft another elite edge rusher. We would like you to draft a rookie edge rusher in the first round who you could pair with Aiden Hutchinson. He may be elite. He may turn out to be elite. He may just be good. He may just be serviceable. He may be average. He may be above average. We just want to see that you care about the position. You've done your due diligence. You scouted this guy and you went and got him. And for 5 years, he's under your control contractually. Y'all can wreak havoc for the next 5 years, terrorize quarterbacks for the next 5 years. And then when you've got a guy who can win one-on-ones, because that's what I've been saying, give me a dude that can win one-on-ones. If you want to set the edge, fine. I need him to be able to set the edge and win one-on-one against the tackles when he's rushing the passer. Now, you may say that qualifies him as elite. That makes him Hutch Jr. That's fine. But you can draft one. You don't have to trade for Max Crosby. You don't have to trade for Danielle Hunter. You don't have to trade for Myles Garrett. But we ask you to do these things because Brad Holmes, you refuse to spend another first-round pick on an edge every year. And I need to get back into, we had, I need to get back into my draft profiles, right? But I'm doing edge rushers, bro. I mean, my next one will probably be David Bailey. Then I might do one on Cassius Howell. You know why? Because draft somebody, Brad. That's all. That's all. Draft a man. Draft a man and put him on the edge of your defense, opposite Aiden Hutchinson, and see what happens. Just draft him. I don't want to hear about Josh Pascal, round number 2. I want to see who is the next round 1 edge rusher that get you drafted. And if you're sitting up here talking about, well, we didn't look, what happens if we draft that position and that player underperforms? What are y'all gonna say then? Like, a player has never underperformed before. Like, everybody that gets drafted does exactly what they were drafted for. And when they don't do exactly what they're drafted for, people react in a way that's unpredictable because that's never happened before, right? No one has ever been, what's the term called? A bust? And why was that term coined? A bust. Because you needed a word to talk about people who were drafted, especially highly, that do not pan out and do exactly what they were expected to do. We call them busts. But you can't get a bust if you don't even attempt to draft a player. You see, does that make sense? Good night, TM. We'll see you later. Enjoy. Appreciate you. MB, what's the over under on amount of injuries? I say about 15. I say 15 is a amazingly ridiculous number. But since the injuries particularly come on defense, I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to say 10. I'm going to say 10. Yeah. Melvin didn't seem to have a problem drafting a running back when we arguably had a franchise running back on the roster. Yeah. But they weren't going to play together. Well, they actually, what are you talking about? David Montgomery? Yeah. Well, they played together for a bit and then he was out. but he refuses to get another edge. Make it make sense. I can't. So he says, see, I don't think there's been a DE in the first near our picks worth it the last few years. Like last year, it was Jack Sawyer. Nobody was drafting Jack Sawyer. And the year before that was Chop Robinson, Darius Robinson. So here's my question, Zerminator. What were you willing to give up to get Jared Verse? Because he was there. The Rams got him at 19. We traded up to 24 to get Terrion Arnold. What would you have been willing to give up to move up 5 more spots? I'm just saying, Jared Verse was there. And according to Dan Campbell, believe it or not, because I'm leaning towards not, believe it or not, they liked Jared Verse. They like Jared Verse. I feel like a little bit more compensation, maybe an extra 3rd round pick. What does that sound like? Instead of 1 3rd round pick to move up 5 spots to get, because you were at 29, to get to 24 to get Terrion Arnold, you move up 10 spots, maybe an extra 3rd rounder or 2 in there, because you've already traded 3 3rd round picks for a wide receiver. Why not give them a 1st and 3 3rds for Jared Verse? Would anybody have cared if they gave up a 1st and 3 3rds for Jared Verse? Would anybody have cared if we didn't have a 3rd round pick for the next couple of years, like is the situation now? I really don't think so. I would have been happy as a clam if you would have traded up and drafted Jared Verse. As a clam. And I don't know how clams got so happy, but I'd have been happy as one. We need SPF. Stop padded Fridays. You was working on that one, huh? How much did the Rams give up? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how much they gave up. But I would have matched it or beat it to get Jared Verse. I would have. Jared Verse was my draft crush in that draft, and he wound up being the defensive rookie of the year. So I'm just, I would have beat it. I would have matched it. I would have beat it. He also traded up for another wide receiver when we arguably had 2 franchise wide receivers on the roster. That's not arguable. Not arguable at all. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams are both franchise wide receivers. So I would have gave up what I had to give up to get Jared Verse. Hold on. Let me let me do this. Mark Garcia with the $10 super chat says, Don P, you do the best Brad Holmes impersonation on YouTube. Keep us entertained. I appreciate you, my guy. Let me do this. Let me pull up the mock machine. Who has the 29th pick right now? Y'all help me out with that. But I don't know ball. Who has the 29th pick right now? We'll settle this. Because I will take control of the team that has the 29th pick, and I will trade up to 19. And I'll tell you how much you have to give up. Now, this is contingent on the future picks that are available. I hate when they ask me that question. Do you need a day off? No, I don't need a day off. Y'all gonna make me take one anyway. I actually do need multiple days off, but you know. All right. Do the Rams have 29? Could be. I just think he was desperate for CBs, and that's why we went for Terrion over Verse. Obviously wasn't the better decision, but I can see where he was coming from. I can't. You know why I can't? Because you stay pat. You stay sitting there. You don't give up any assets, and you draft Nate Wiggins. All right. Hold on. Let me see this. Let me see this. Hold on. What pick? Ross Cooper. Okay. How many picks did you move up to get Isaac Tesla in the third round? How many picks did you move up? All right, let's go with the Rams then. Okay. So we're going to start our draft. We're going to choose the Los Angeles Rams. All right. We're going to trade our pick for pick number 32, 32, 31, 30, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Carolina Panthers, 19. Okay. So to move up from 29 to 19, we're going to offer, we want their first round pick, right? Boom. Okay. So if we gave up a first and a second, that would be a fair trade, right? Just the first and the second. Propose a trade. Carolina Panthers accept. The Carolina Panthers accepted pick 29 of the first round, pick 29 of the second round for pick number 19. That's it. In those two picks, first and the second, with Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. Now, what is it based off of? When you go to the mockmachine.com, if you haven't been there, go ahead and check it out. The draft picks are based on the draft trade system, like the pick system, the point system, sorry. Each asset has a certain amount of points attached to it. And this came from not Fibonacci. I don't remember the Fitz, not Fitz Pollard. You know, the trade chart. Okay. A first and a second could have gotten you to 19, which would have gotten you Jared Verse. Would you rather have had Jared Verse for a first and a second or Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw? That's the question. I just, I feel like I feel like we did ourselves a disservice. The Chiefs have the 29th pick. No, it had the Rams. Oh yeah, the Chiefs have it because they traded the okay. Yeah. Got you. To be fair, Verse had a ish load of missed tackles his rookie season. Bro, imagine Jared Verse getting after the passer on the other side of Hutch. He may have had missed tackles, but he was the defensive rookie of the year. You know who else had missed tackles for free that wouldn't get rewarded for nothing? Josh Pascal. Josh Pascal was missing tackles left and right and wasn't winning no rewards. So the fact that Jared Verse won defensive player rookie of the year means he missed tackles, but how many plays did he make? That's the thing. And Terrion Arnold, if we're talking about wins over replacement, which we can't do, right? But if we're just talking about missed tackles and penalties, how much did Terrion Arnold cost his team his rookie year? By getting penalties instead of missed tackles. How many of Jared Verse's missed tackles led to touchdowns? And how many Terrion Arnold penalties led to touchdowns? See what I'm saying? I mean, I get you. I know what you're saying. But that is what that is. All right. And then here's my other thing. Cooper DeJean was selected as the 40th overall pick in the second round of the 2024 NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles traded up from the 50th pick to acquire him. Okay. Where did we get Rakestraw? 60th? Here's another question. How many picks did we move up? How many spots did we move up to draft test slot? Does anybody know? Does anybody remember? Yeah, I know that. But this is the question I'm asking. How many picks did we move up? Because I have the information right here. You saying TJ Tampa was So if we were desperate for corners, you could have sat where you were. Could have got Nate Wiggins, because Nate Wiggins is better than Terrion Arnold, right? Then in the second round, you could have traded up for Cooper DeJean. And you would have only had to trade up 20 spots. Why do I say only? Because we traded up 32 spots to get Isaac TeSlaa. $32 spots to get a wide receiver that we didn't need. But when you needed corners, you traded up to draft Terrion Arnold, which you did not need to do. And I am not I'm one of the only people that will tell you that Terrion has what it takes to be a good corner in the NFL. For whatever reason, he's not tapping into that right now. But Nate Wiggins is already better. So you could have stood there where you were, got Nate Wiggins, and then used less ammo to trade up to draft Cooper DeJean. Rakestraw was 61st. Okay. So then 21 spots. All right. 21 spots. You moved up 32 to take Isaac TeSlaa. 32. Anyway, y'all, that's all I'm saying. I've got to go. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate the super chats. Mark Garcia, TM Martin. I appreciate you guys for coming through with the super chats, the super stickers, and all of that. Appreciate the love. And look, we'll be back here tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be live on Syndicats 365. It's, keep it locked and we'll let you know. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. Once again, the Motor City Cats R&D back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your lines news pragmatic, and we are out. Peace.